Hello, and welcome to Paul and Lynn's debut ride on Daphne the Owl, ride to Grasmere. Right, so we're on the A592, as you can see there. Just left the entrance to Linefit Holiday Park. On a previous video that we actually called in to have a look around there because my cousin Chris and I spent a night there camping on our way to Scotland in 1984, and it's changed quite a lot since then as these wooden cabins sprung up, and whilst they do look nice, they've actually spoilt the view of this valley that we're passing now on the right hand side. So progress, not sure. Anyhow, right, we're coming up to the Queen's Head now. Again, there might be work going on inside that we don't see, but I do hope that that it's going to be restored after the devastating fire. I think it was 2014, the fire, if I'm not mistaken. So, right, so we're heading towards the Kirkstone Pass now. In fact, we're on the Kirkstone Pass, I guess, now. Heading up towards the Kirkstone Pass Inn, and then we'll be going down the Struggle towards Ambleside. And as you can see, the colours, the autumn colours are absolutely stunning. Beautiful day, absolutely perfect. And I'm speaking now on the 13th of December. And this was the 26th of October, I think it was. And as I've mentioned on the other videos about the flooding, the Kirkstone Pass Road towards Glenridding, and Glenridding itself has been severely damaged by flooding and landslips. So this road is currently blocked, really. Excuse me. So hopefully they'll get it opened, and they'll be back in business, because the Lake District relies so heavily on tourism, of course, and it will be Easter before we know it. And of course the people who live there, they need to get around. So now this road, I'm always reminded of a very, very good friend of ours, sadly no longer with us, John, who was 91 when he sadly died. And because John, unfortunately, his wife was basically bedridden most of their married life, which was nearly 50 years. I mean, we talk about loyalty and till death us do part, and you know, all that when you get married. Well, John was a marvellous example of a truly loyal man. And because his wife was basically in need of constant care from John never went anywhere. And he'd served in Burma in the Second World War in the Navy. And apart from that, he'd not been anywhere in this country or abroad. So when I was so privileged to bring John on the back of, he came on the Pan-European, I think, but he also went on the back of one of the gull wings, one of the two GL 1800 gull wings that we had, and I brought him up here, and I always remember him saying to me on the bike, "This is like fairy tale land." He just could not believe the beauty. He'd never seen it, and this is a man by then he was in his mid to late 80s, and he'd travelled an awful lot. Since his wife died, he met a wonderful lady called Thelma, actually in Sydney. He'd gone on a cruise, and they met, and they started a marvellous story, which is another story. So John, by this time, when he was on the back of our bike, he had travelled the world. He'd been to New York, he'd been to Norway, he'd been all over the world. So he really crammed an awful lot in his final years with Thelma. He'd been to the battlegrounds and grave sites in the Far East. See all that. Marvellous man. And to hear him say about this being fairy tale land, which it is, the Lake District, I just couldn't believe it, and I felt so privileged. First of all, to know him and be friends with him. He was a teacher at my secondary school. That's how I know him, and I felt so privileged to be able to take him over here on the bike, and he enjoyed it. He was so happy. Right, so we're just coming up to the struggle now. Now here's a photograph of the struggle during winter time, and you wouldn't want to be up there at that time of year when it's like that. Give me these conditions any time. No, you just wouldn't, would you? We've actually ridden up here on a previous video, where the snow was actually quite deep at the side of the road. And as we were going the other way on the Pan-European, so this was winter 2012, 2013. So I think there's a video. I think there's it's up on YouTube. I'm not sure now. Thinking about it. It may not be up. Anyway, I'll have a look, and I'll put a link in the description for you. And as we got higher and higher, we thought, have we done the right thing? Anyway, it was okay. It was just at the side of the roads, but it was just gives you an idea how much snow comes down, So as I say, we're coming down the struggle now, heading towards Ambleside. A marvellous road is this. I love it, absolutely love it. And it's the first time we're going down the struggle on the K1600. Now going the other way, when you come to the top where the Kirkstone Pass Inn is situated, it's quite a severe camber, and although this bike's got a lower sense of gravity, and I can actually flat foot with both feet when sat on it, it's of course quite a bit heavier than the FJR, so that'll be a test. It certainly will, but I'll have to do it because you've got to be able to ride anywhere. But I think we'll get the protective bars on before we attempt anything like that, just in case. Right, so I think we'll put some music on. As I said, the next stop is Grasmere, our destination. There are some photographs at the end of this video, so hope you enjoy those. Incidentally, just in front there you can see the water. That's Windermere. So it's a bit hazy this particular day, but again, there are other videos showing this ride down on a clearer day. And one time we actually pulled in and took some photographs, which were fantastic. So again, look out for that. All within the Lake District playlists. They're all available there for you to enjoy, and us to enjoy. Because today the weather it's about 3 degrees. It's dull. There's rain forecast. I think it's spitting now. We had an early frost, so if it does rain, it is a potential there for ice for a time on the road surfaces and pavements. So all in all, a typical dreary December Sunday. So it's nice to be able to watch the sunshine on these videos. Okay, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye for now. Right, I'm back. I've come back speaking because there's a couple of photographs I would just want to explain about on here. We're just coming into to Grasmere now. We've just left the A591, and I'm sure you'll agree what a beautiful, beautiful place Grasmere is. And I'm just saying to Lynn now, shall we ride through the village and come back through the village before we park up on the car park to your right there? And of course, well, yeah, you know, of course we do. Because although there's a Capcam video of Grasmere, there's probably a couple actually, but there's a Mother's Day one that we did this year, which was nice. This gives you a different perspective, but again, you know, sadly in the last week or so, this river that we're going over now has actually flooded that church on your right hand side. It's never been flooded before, but apparently it's flooded now this time. So there's a garden centre we just passed there on the left. That's apparently been inundated with flood water. So what a shame. They've really had it bad. There is a photograph shortly just coming up which shows an area of the village flooded underwater, and it's just hard to imagine this picturesque, so scenic place just devastated with floodwater. I mean, look at the colours there. Oh, you know, isn't it beautiful? England's finest, it really is. And we're so lucky within, you know, within an hour, or you know, just over the hour, you're there. You know, we're so lucky. It can get a bit congested with traffic, as you can see. You know, even on a late autumn day, there's still loads of cars around. But it's 20 miles an hour, the speed limit here, so this is actually one place where 20 is plenty. Now on the right hand side here, this green to the right, you'll see this photograph now. There it is. We've just turned into where those buildings are, and you can see it's just devastated. What a shame. Hopefully people's property, you know, has not been too badly affected, but yeah, that's the drawback of living in, you know, a place where rainfall totals are quite, you know, it's the wettest part of England, I believe, so that's the price you pay, you know. So we're just coming back through now. This is a little one-way bit back through the village. It's so lovely. Love it. It's our favourite part of the Lake District by far. I think next favourite is Keswick. We love Keswick. Keswick's got everything, as Kevin Lear. He's well worth a visit on YouTube. He's Kevin Lear Motorbike Tours of Britain. I've watched quite a few of his videos of late, and he's really good. He covers the Lake District, he covers the northeast, Durham, you know, over to Northumberland, Middleton in Teesdale, and Alston, places like that. In great detail, and he gives details of hotels and bed and breakfasts to stay at. So, you know, a really good resource if you're wanting to visit the Lake District, either in a car or on the bike, or on a coach. He's certainly worth a look. He really is. Right, so here we are. We're just arriving at the car park, parking up. We had to park at the other side of the toilet block on this occasion. There she is, looking splendid without her panniers. There's Lynn with Daff. What a bike. Look at that engine. I love the engine though, the angle of that cylinder head. That's where we had a bit of lunch. I think it was Greek, the restaurant. Very, very nice. Look at the colours there. That's in Daffodil Garden, Wordsworth, Daffodil Garden. Lynn will tell you what tree that is. It's one of the big hotels. That's same. Beautiful colours. Look at that. I think you'll agree that's stunning, isn't it? These photographs, some are mine, some are Lynn's, so you get duplications, but they're from different angles, so it's worth including them all, I think. They're not lovely. We don't seem 2 minutes since we were sat out in warm sunshine. I don't know why I've included that twice, but anyway, you got it twice. Sorry about that. Bad as the BBC. Now then, gingerbread. Oh, the smell of gingerbread from there is always delicious. And Lynn got some to take home. I always think that's a shame, that building there. I think it could do with a bit of a tidy up. Look at the colour there. That's the garden centre that's I was telling you been flooded out. It's a lovely place. Everything in there. Garden centre, you know, as well as household goods and gifts, souvenirs, everything. Wow. It's just beautiful. I love that. My best mate, that's Lynn. Love her to bits. Right, as it says, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye for now.